I don't know why. Probably because I'm drunk every time I fucking do this. Not as drunk tonight as I usually am, but I have a story for you guys. And I am going to put a warning on this that if you are, which most of the people who are watching my videos probably are not this way, but if you are easily made squeamish by hearing about gross things, this is not the story for you. Anyway, story time. There is this person that I work with, this old man, who has worked at our company for like 40 something years. Like, he's been there forever. When I first started working there, some of the other guys that worked there commented to me that they always used to joke and tell him he looked like Danny DeVito, but that he would get like really mad about it. He's older. He's like 73 or 4 years old. Anyway, okay. So, I was made aware of a situation in the last month or two. I know he's old as shit, and I'm not like trying to be like ageist or whatever. I get it. But at the same time, if you're old and sick and you know there's something wrong with you, I ate Thai food yesterday. This is not pleasant. I ate it today too, as leftovers. Tom yum. Anyway, go to the fucking doctor when you get old. Don't just sit there and rot away. We have this old man, and I've been there for several years, and like, especially like in the summers and stuff, like he gets pretty ripe smelling sometimes, you know, and I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, please get out of my office. I can't, I'm not trying to be mean, but sometimes he got a smell. Anyway, so this is great. Like, I did not realize I could just, holy shit, I don't have to hold my phone anymore. I tried to hold it on this toilet paper holder the other day and it kept falling, and I was like, holy shit, why have I never thought of this before? I've been doing this for like years. Anyway, so I was made aware of a situation. I know he's been having some issues because like his doctor will call work to talk to him because he's there during the day. I guess he probably didn't hear his phone or something, or have it in his pocket or whatever. But he's never been married, as far as I know. Like, I don't think he's ever been married. I don't know. He lives alone. And about a month or so ago, maybe two, I noticed he was maybe missing work some. He won't tell you anything about what's going on with his life. He doesn't want you to like worry about him. Maybe he's afraid he's going to get fired or something. I don't think they'll ever fire him. He'll probably die in his office because like it's frequently he will fall asleep and there's a window where you can see in his office, and he'll be sitting there sometimes, so he's just like, and sometimes you gotta go like tap on the door just to see if he's alive, you know, like it is a concern for the people who work with me that may be the case someday, because he refuses to retire. He thinks that if he retires, he's just going to go home and die because he doesn't have any family really or anything. I mean, unless he's got like siblings or something. I don't know. I don't really know much. I just know he doesn't have immediate family. Anyway, I know he's been going to the doctor and stuff because he's been missing some work and whatnot. Quit opening the door, dogs. And a month or two ago, he works out in the warehouse, and he came up front and he like came and sat in somebody's office chair to prop his feet up because his feet were hurting, which is fine. But when he got up, and I was told all of this secondhand. I didn't witness any of this, thank God. I probably would have like had to leave. And I'm usually okay with like bodily fluids and things until that reunion that I had a couple of years ago where somebody puked all over my $3,000 sofa. But anyway, it was nasty. But when he got up from this chair, like an upholstered office chair, someone else noticed a wet spot. Somebody else who's worked there 30-something years. And I was like, hey, man, like, what is that? He goes, oh, that's just my leg. It oozes. Oozes what? Is it pus? Is it blood? It's some kind of liquid oozes. So I was already kind of like, ugh, with that. You can kind of smell it. He comes in my office quite frequently. the smell does kind of linger. But it is sometimes noticeable. So he took the last couple of weeks off because he rolled over some PTO from the previous year. You're not really allowed to do that, but they don't give a shit what he does because like we have to force him to go on vacation because he like refuses to miss work. But he took 2 weeks off. The first week was to just take up vacation from the previous year, and last week we had like this like huge fucking snowstorm. Was it last week or was it the week before? Might have been the week before. Anyway, there were 2 weeks he was gone, and he came back, that following Monday after the snowstorm. Everything's good or whatever. Anyway, he comes to my office today, and I could smell it. I went out. I had to go out to the warehouse for something, and he had to ask me a question, and I answered the question, and I turned around to go resolve the issue, and he followed me, and I was like, please stop following me. I don't want this. I didn't have my mask on. I don't want to. I didn't have a filter of any kind. I don't want to smell it. And came out from the back, and I passed another guy whose office is right beside mine that I had said something to him earlier in the day because the old man had come into my office to use the copier, and right after he was done, I had to get up and mail like 400 letters out, and I walked right through where he was standing, and I just had to keep walking because it hit me. It's a smell that kind of lingers a little bit, kind of like necrotic, and like it smells like sweat and like dead. So to me anyway, we've not really stood around at work and tried to like describe our different experiences thereof, but I ran out of the warehouse after he was following me, and I walked past the guy whose office is right beside mine. I was like, he's gollowing me. Oh my gosh, I'm not trying to be mean because I love this old man to death, but he needs to go to the freaking doctor. And he come in my office, or I did, not the old man, but the guy whose office next to mine. I come in my office, or I went down and talked to him. Anyway, later in the day, he said, have you heard so-and-so's story? The same guy whose chair this old man had sat in and left leakage. And I was like, the story about the chair? He's like, no. He's like, right before he was gone for 2 weeks, he was like, we have 2 bathrooms at work. We have one that I have designated as female/customer, which is a nice bathroom. It's a single, it's a one person bathroom. But there's another bathroom around the corner for back in the day when the people who like opened this company were like young and used to stay up there and like party after hours and whatnot. There's a shower, and it's the men's room. Nobody hardly goes in there. I don't go in there for sure. Nobody uses that shower. It's fucking nasty. Like the whole bathroom is nasty, but there's a urinal, so like if you can't get into the good bathroom, at least you can go take a piss in the other one. Since I'm the only female who works there, I get really pissed off when there's a dude taking a piss in the girl bathroom because they have a urinal right around the corner. But anyway, one of my coworkers who usually uses the chick bathroom anyway, apparently somebody was in it, so he had to go into that other one right before the snow shit happened and the vacation thing happened. And that necrotic, sweaty smell hit him, and he's looking around. It's not a very big room, you walk in, the shower stall's right here, there's some like storage, and then a toilet, sink, urinal, door. So like he walks in and he smells it, and he's looking around, and he's like, did Pinky like fall down somewhere? There's nowhere for him to fall down. Oh shit, I said his name. Anyway, there's nowhere for him to fall down. And he looks down at the trash can right next to the sink, and he sees just wads and wads and wads of toilet paper covered in like crusty pus and blood, apparently. I'm hearing this third hand from the guy he told it to, but that's what the smell was. And so apparently he went and asked old man about it, and old man said, oh yeah, I had to go in there and just clean my leg out. I had to leave. I left work. It's Friday. I had to go to the bank and go to the post office anyway. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go as slow as I fucking can so that when I get back, all I got to do is put up my deposit bag and leave. And I ain't got to see nobody, and I ain't got to talk to nobody, and I ain't got to lock no doors, and I ain't got to touch no light switches. The whole time I'm thinking, because I'm not saying the old man is unsanitary, but I mean, all things considered, before our new owners took over, there used to be a bunch of like stray cats that kind of lived in our warehouse. That like one of them was literally cremated and like put on a shelf in the warehouse when I first started working there, because it was like old and sick and nasty. Like they never went to the vet, I don't think. Maybe when they got super sick or something. But we fed them apparently. One of them just hung out in the kitchen all day. She already looked like she was dead, and she's the one who got cremated and boxed up with a little box with her name on it. Creepy. But the new owners took over, and one of them was allergic, so they got the cats out of there. So because the problem we had before the new owners bought it was that the 3 cats that lived in the warehouse would have kittens or bring kittens. One of the cats I have is one of those warehouse kittens that I got before I started working there, because a friend of mine worked there and told me about these damn kittens, and I was like, oh, come look at them. That's where I got my fucking calico cat. She's sweet as pie, but you know, she was small when I got her. You know, she's a good cat. She sleeps right next to John's head every night. Anyway, that was like years ago, but he used to like share a spoon with the cats, and like that whole like the warehouse, the little kitchen in the warehouse and stuff. Like I don't go in there. It doesn't seem sanitary to do so. I don't like this shit's so old and like gross, and like I don't know that anybody goes in there and like runs the dishwasher or anything anymore. I don't know if the dishes get washed. Like I literally, like I went back there one day, and another guy who works out front with me was back there doing dishes because he's like super anal about cleanliness. I was like, why do you work here? Because this warehouse is nasty. But he was back there doing dishes, but there was somebody out there to see him, and so I started taking over doing what he was doing, and the CEO walked in. He was like, you don't have to do these guys' dishes. I was like, well, I was just finishing what was started. So I actually made a sign. It was like, yeah, like, because we had somebody transfer from another location, and I think that's whose dishes it was, because they expected somebody else to come behind them and clean up after them, because they can't clean up after them goddamn selves, even though they fucking dirty the fucking dishes. Come on, man. Do your own goddamn dishes. Anyway, rant over. I just put up a sign, one of those, yeah, if you could do your own fucking dishes, that would be great. You know, that meme, whatever it is from The Office, or, no, Office Space. Anyway, I haven't had to do any dishes since, and I'm not going to, because they don't pay me enough, but anyway. I finally texted my boss this afternoon while I was sitting at the bank waiting in line to deposit their fucking money. I was like, look, I'm taking paid time off. I am not deducting it from my PTO. I ain't doing shit until y'all sanitize that store. Because I got to thinking about his at work leg debridement. Is that how you say that word? Debridement? Whatever. Clean out his pus. And I got to thinking about how I've never seen him wash his hands, you know, sharing food with the cats and spoons and whatnot, and just, maybe it's an old person thing, like maybe they had to conserve water or something back in the day, I don't know. But I got to thinking about, he comes in there and he uses my copy machine, he hands me pieces of paper that I need, and he touches everything in the store. Is his cat, why are you trying to crawl in the toilet? You do not want in there, I promise you. You can barely get the old man to wear a mask. I doubt he's using hand sanitizer, but he's touching all the doorknobs, all the phones, all the computers, all the everything. And then we go behind him and then we touch it, and everybody's touching it, and I immediately get a bunch of bleach wipes out when I realized that, and started rubbing everything down, because first of all, I'm immunocompromised. Secondly, I don't want old decrepit, like gangrene old man infection like on my hands. Would you not knock my wine over? I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't think anybody wants that. Like, that's why people at the hospital wear gloves and protective gear. I don't want that. So not only do we have COVID going on, but now we've got, get the fuck out of that. Stupid ass cat. Look, you ruined my show. Bitch. Oh, you can almost see. Woo. This isn't working very well. Anyway, nobody, see my squatty potty position? Nobody wants to touch that. And the longer I think about it, the more grossed out I am. It's just, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do the smell. Every time I smell the smell, I'm going to think, oh my God, it's all over my hands. And it doesn't matter how many times I sanitize my hands, because it just comes back. It just keeps coming back. Every time he touches anything, it comes back. I can't do it anymore. I cannot do it anymore. What would you guys do? Like, I mean, would you take it upon yourselves to sanitize, like fall behind him with a box of Clorox wipes? Would you refuse to come to work until they like professionally sanitize it? Like, would you make the old man like go home until he's healed? Like, what would you do? Leave a comment and let me know, because I really don't fucking know what to do in this situation. Not that I'm asking for your advice, but what the fuck would you motherfuckers do? And if you have something too witty to say in the comments, send it to my email, thetalkingshits@gmail.com. Spelled normally, not like the way I spell it on my titles. But, man, what a stupid email address. Back when everybody was still watching that zombie show. I quit watching it like halfway into the season after old sheriff died. I can't anymore. It took some begging to get me to watch it in the first place. It's just like with Game of Thrones. It took me some begging to get to watch it in the first place. I was like, alright, fine, I'll watch it. And then I watched it twice. And the second time through, I was like, this is not as good as it was the first time. You pick up on a lot more, but it wasn't as good the second time. I should have just, stuck with my not remembering who everybody was when I came back into the picture for a while until, I don't know. Like, I feel like if I rewatch Breaking Bad, it's going to ruin it, but also I want to. I was thinking about rewatching Weeds, but I remember how much I hated the last couple of seasons. But Celia, oh my God, I aspire to be her. Probably already am her, just not as rich. But anyway. Yeah, let me know what you do with the walking necrotic air freshener, because I don't